Hi, welcome back to Byte Forever. So we're in the ZX Spectrum repair series. The one I got off eBay. Previous video was showing the problems I had plugged it in to TV. Did get some display, but nothing really. Since then, things have changed a bit. Not this though. This is a working Spectrum. What this I've just done is downloaded a pretty good utility called ZX Spectrum Diagnostics, and it just goes through a RAM test. And what I'm planning to do is run that on this other one. So I've cleaned, since previously I've cleaned up some of the crud on the edge of here, cleaned the keyboard rubber mat, and done a few bits. So also installed the new keyboard membrane, which actually does work. So you can type in stuff into do little programs and things, but you just can't see really the results that well. So anyway, that's good, because this RAM test you have to actually select what the soak test mode, yes or no, is. So also, since the last video, I'm pretty sure this is a 16K version. The reason I say that is all these sockets here would be populated anyway if it was or they may not be sockets if it was a 48K version. But also there's a little jumper next to ULA, which with the kit that came to upgrade this, you had to put a jumper across. You can't really see it that well. Maybe if I zoom in, this little jumper here, you have to put a thing across from there to there, or from there to there, but it doesn't actually say in the instructions which one, which is a bit confusing. But that doesn't look like that's been touched at all, so I think this is a 16K version. Anyway, what I'll do is unplug the working Spectrum, which I was just using to test the test program, and we'll set up with this one and see what we get. Well, that was a complete failure. Well, not a complete failure, but failure nonetheless. In that, so it was loading the diagnostic program, and it looked as if it was doing it okay. You could hear the speaker sound when it's loading. The bars at the side, but literally everything was black and white, no colour whatsoever. Whereas in the other one there was some colour at that point. And then it got to, I think it's 1 minute 6 seconds, and just kind of rebooted back to that. I'm not sure if that's because it's a program that needs full 48K or not. It does say 16/48K when you run it, as you saw on the previous one when I was running with the working Spectrum. So so my first thoughts are that probably some memory corruption, some problem with the RAM, particularly the colour attribute side of things. Hi, so I just got the multimeter out, took the top off, and you see the 8 16x1 memory chips there. So each byte in memory is actually stored in 1 bit across 8 chips, which is unusual, but that's the way the Spectrum was designed. So these DRAM chips are 4116 chips. I managed to find the data sheet on there. It's, by the looks of it, it's basically got 3 voltage pins, which I always find is a little bit interesting. It's not just +5 and ground on these chips. So you got pin 1, which is that top left one, the one that's to the left of the notch. That's known as VBB. So that is meant to be a -5 volts. You've got pin 8, which is VDD, and that's a power pin again, and that's meant to be -12 volts. That's the bottom left pin there. So that's meant to be +12 volts. VSS is pin 16, that's ground, and VCC is pin 9, and that's meant to be plus 5 volts. So just going to quickly run around these. Hopefully everyone can see the multimeter. I've just basically put the one side of the multimeter test probe to the heatsink, that's it. Heatsink on the voltage regulator, so that's ground. So actually getting 0 volts there, which should be -5. So that's not good on pin 1. Getting 8.56 on pin 8, which, as I said, should be +12. That's not too good. We're getting 4.8 on pin 9, so that should be +5. And if I can get this probe in without shorting anything out, yeah, so we're getting 0 on ground, which is good. I'll just go along all these actually. Whoops, you can't see it actually, but I still got the TV screen on, and when I did that, it went a bit corrupted, and then just reset. So we're getting 4.8 again on that. Try not to slip. 4.81, 4.8, 0.8. I have to check it. That, might be okay for 5 volts. They're all 4.8, I think, on pin 9. So pin 8 on all these. I did that before. 8.56. 8.56. I think I'll probably see the same on all these. I mean, there might be something just pulling that voltage down a little bit. As I say, it's meant to be, according to the data sheet for the 4116, it's meant to be 12 plus 12 volts, but maybe have to do some more digging after this. It could be that, that's the way it is on this. Maybe it can take something as low. So you've got on pin 1, which is VBB, that should be -5, I think, according to the data sheet, which I'll put a link to that in the description. Oh, what did we get on that one? No, so they're all 0. As I say, none of these are just sort of touching these. None of them appear to be getting hot to touch. I think that can be another sign that some chip's faulty. So yeah, I think I need to work out initially why pin 1 is 0. I'll do some reading. I think it's either meant to be that way, or we've definitely got a problem on there. So yeah, I probably need to go away, do a little bit more research again on the specifics of ZX Spectrum as to what the expected voltages are on these chips. It's okay looking at a data sheet, but it might be different for this particular board, even though it's using that same chip. But yeah, the power supply coming in is 9 volts. So unless there's a problem with this power supply here, which is meant to supply in +12, I can't see it would be. I think it was going to just provide +9 volts maximum. So we were seeing 8.5. That could be a bit low as well. Anyway, more work to do, I think. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.